1995.5 Audi S6 Avant. 20 years later. This vehicle here was built in November of 1995, and Audi quite didn't know what to do here. They had some vehicles that they were still building, and they wanted to stay under the OBD2. They didn't want to go with the OBD2. They wanted to keep it OBD1, so they made it a half model. But these things were really 1996s, but they wanted to get around that law. So they did some weird things. They created very few numbers of these, and in my opinion, and to seem, it seems as much that the black on black is the most desirable vehicle for these. You know, this car ranges anywhere from like 3,000 all the way up to almost 25,000. Recently, one there was on eBay, did big money, had like 40,000 miles, did 23.5. So, you know, it's one of those cars like the M3 that are going up in value or holding value. This car has always held its value very, very well. One of the things is about this car that that front bumper right there is actually and can be worth just as much as the whole vehicle. And unfortunately, if you crack them, you cannot replace them. It's no longer sold, very hard to find, and people ask top dollar for mint ones. Now that particular car there has no holes in it because this was a Connecticut car. And I usually always run a European plate, but you know what? I'm having a hard time drilling into that front bumper, which could go from $1,500 to $2,000. Yes. Avis wheels. This particular vehicle here is all stock. It was a one owner, and I purchased it from him. I've done no modifications to it whatsoever. You know, what makes this car different than a regular, let's just say A6, is those Fender Flares. They are quite huge. You may not notice them in pictures as well, and that's what does make this bumper different, because it actually does flare out. So a lot of people may have thought, oh, you know what, it's just a regular A6 bumper. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Sport mirrors, which used to be very popular with the Audi, and also there is a rear bulge in the rear fenders, so pretty cool. Another thing, need more advice, go to autoadbuilder.com or automotiveadbuilder.com to sell your vehicle. Bose audio system. This car got very dusty inside. I gotta really blow it out today. Another cool feature about this car is that it has a third row seat. That's right, third row, and the kids can get out. It has a handle to open, has a rear shade. Also back then, the top audio was Bose. You know, now it's Bang & Olufsen. And there's just a, what do you call it in here? That speaker doesn't even belong to this car. Has a 6-disc changer. This cars actually drive very smooth. You know, a lot different than my Audi 5000 I have. It's just a totally different ride. It rides more like a modern car, whereas the 5000 is more like a go-kart, to me at least. In the rear you had heated seats. Also, beautiful interior. It truly was. That 3-spoke sports steering wheel, really what makes this automobile. And you also have a ski pass. Halves have the wood with the fiber there. It has cloth rather than the leather door panels. 95.5s. As far as I know, all came with this 3-spoke steering wheel. And it, unfortunately to me, lost the differential button. They updated the Quattro. The cool thing, which I've been noticing people want, is the old cell phone, which is really nice. Now, this car was big money, over $50,000 back here in 96, 95 area. So now has 214,000 miles, still going strong. You know, the 5-cylinder engine is just a great motor, rally proven. 220 horse, 2.2, you know, that inline 5. Really cool how the turbocharger's right there. You could also hear this thing blow off, you know, so it's nice. You know, I don't really push it, but you know what? It's just so silky smooth. Up there also, This way you don't burn up the top. And also it has a nice after run to the turbo and the water pump, and just keep everything circulating. You know, they really thought things out with these cars. You know, they try to make them so they pretty much last for many, many hundreds and thousands of miles. Anyway, this is just a 20-year later overview of the Audi S6.